Oh, well, hey, babe. It's Jamie. That's me here. Welcome back to my channel, honey. Listen, let's go ahead and talk about Married at First Sight because they have finally reached decision day and I have finally gotten a chance to watch it. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about it. All right, y'all. This review gonna be real quick because it's about decision day, okay? And I just took down a teeny weeny bit of notes, so we're gonna go ahead and run through it. First things first, Gil and Mirla, okay, they were the first ones up. Myrla does not like makeup. That's something that I wanted to know. Myrla is not a person that's a fan of makeup, but she came in there with this terrible eyeshadow. So I was shocked to see that she even had some type of eyeshadow on when y'all know she's more of a natural face girl. So it seems like she's starting to play in her little makeup kit that somebody may have gifted her. Okay, so she's definitely playing around in her Dollar Tree fashions, and I'm not upset with it. So you got to start somewhere, Miss Myrla. All right, so there's that. Okay, what else is going on? Myrla, when it came down to decision day and what she wanted to do, she says that she wants to stay, married to her husband. Based on his commitment, she feels like he's an amazing person and he shows his full commitment to her. And that's something that makes her want to stay in the marriage. And I'm glad that she said that. I don't know what it's going to look like at the reunion, but I'm glad that she chose to stay in this relationship with Gil because I feel like Gil is a good guy. Gil is probably one of the best guys out of all of them dudes sitting down at the table. Okay, so she got her a good guy. So it's great that she wants to stick around because he too also wanted to stay with his good girl, Miss Myrla, and he too has decided to stay married as well. So congrats to them, honey. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to Johnny and Bao because they were up next, right? So ironically, when it came down to it, everybody pretty much talks about, they talk about their challenges in the marriage. They talk about, the ups in the marriage and the downs, like I said. So when it came down to it, this was so the irony of it all. Johnny ran amok most of the time in the marriage. He was running away from the marriage, never really wanted to be there with Bao or anything. So I found it to be very interesting that he would sit up there and say he wants to stay married to her by any means so that they can go to therapy and do whatever it is they need to do to make sure that they stay together. And I thought that was funny and ironic because, mind you, on last week's episode, he ended up having a talk with his friends and his friends really didn't want him to let go of the relationship, just continue to try, right? Well, here we are. I'm guessing his friends really got in his head. And I also feel like Johnny really don't want to be with Bao, but I feel like he has a thing about failure. And that's one of the reasons why he chose to say, yeah, I want to stay in this. Right. But then also I'm having an alternative thought because I'm wondering if he knew she was going to say no. And then him saying yes will probably make her look like a bad person, considering the fact that she told him no when he wanted to work on it. Like, I don't know what to think about Johnny, but there's that. When it came down to Bao and her decision, Bao decided that she wanted a divorce because she said that she wanted to get into a marriage that was going to be all about commitment and support. And she felt as though she wasn't getting that. And she was real honest about not being happy. She said, I'm so unhappy. Okay, so I respect Bao's decision to want to walk away from this marriage because Johnny did not give as he should have given throughout this marriage, right? He wasn't fully in it. And I also feel like, Johnny, baby, you need to be by yourself. Okay, you need to be by yourself and to yourself for some time before you try to hop out here and be in a relationship with anybody or be married to anybody. So I guess you're gonna be going on another 100 dates, 100 more dates, honey. But Bao, although I agree with your decision to step away and walk away from Johnny, I still don't trust you, girl. Period. Still do not trust you at all. I feel like Zack was still a motivating factor as to why she decided to not stay married to this man. But anyway, honey, let's go ahead and move on. Okay, let's get to Brett and Ryan. We get to Brett and Ryan. Ryan's still up here apologizing about the fact that he downloaded this app before they left the apartment. He downloaded the app and matched with Brett's friend. And he's still up here being apologetic about it and saying that was not supposed to happen. I'm sorry that happened. And then one of the therapists was like, or the experts was like, baby, but you did this. Like, what do you mean? Like this, like, why did you do that? He couldn't even explain why he did it. He opened up and started talking about how he's 35 years old and he got a type. And I'm like, baby, ain't nothing about you 35 years old. Nothing about you seemed like it's 35 years old, and then turn around and say he had a type. And I'm like, well, baby, here's the thing. Do your types even want you? While you over here talking about you got a type, is you they type? That's what we want to know. In addition, obviously, the types that you have gone after in the past haven't done enough to trigger you or make you want to marry them. So it makes me feel like at this point, it's no longer about the type. When you try to say you got a type, I feel like the issue is you. Okay. I feel like the issue is Ryan. All this, I got to type, I got to type. I'm 35 years old. I'm like, what your age got to do with this? I am so confused. He has yet to explain why he downloaded this app to go out and meet somebody else. But he could have just said, because I just wasn't interested and I was just looking forward to getting that. Like, he could have just been real. We was going to drag you either way it go, Ryan. So, I mean, it really don't matter what you say, honey. We was going to drag you. But anyway, honey. So, moving on. Brett opens up and talks about pretty much, listen, I want to get a divorce. I'm not gonna, and I appreciated Brett's answer so much because it wasn't like I'm gonna do this whole dramatic, I gotta think about it. Oh my God, let me take some breath after every single word that I say for editing purposes. Like, she just came out with like, baby, I ain't got time. Listen, I want a divorce, period. If y'all paid attention, Ryan gave the biggest sigh of relief. He was glad that she said she wanted to be divorced. So that way I took it as him feeling comfortable about when he delivers his wanting to get a divorce, it won't hurt her as much because she already wants it, right? Or it won't make him look too bad because she already wants it. So he was like, oh, I agree. I agree with you. I agree. Like, by Ryan, honey. So anyway, child, let me go ahead and scoot on over and get to Jose and Rachel, okay? Because we ain't got to waste a whole lot of time on this, okay? Came down to Jose and Rachel. Jose wants to stay married because he feels like they have a good foundation and he believes that she's a wonderful woman. So despite the fact that she may have left and has gone out to stay the night at her ex-man's house, or whatever, he decides that he still wants to stay married. And for her, she also wants to stay married to him, despite the fact that he done put her out the house and locked her out the house, honey. Okay, well, I ain't gonna say he put her out because she ended up walking out, but he locked her out the house, okay? So despite all of that, I guess they let bygones be bygones for the moment, and they both have decided to stay in the marriage. So I guess kudos and congrats to them, and good luck to everybody that chose to stay in this marriage, honey. Let's go ahead and move on and get to Zack and Michaela because they was a fool. Yeah, they was. It wasn't even Michaela, it was Zack for me. Okay. So when it came down for them to talk about the marriage or whatever, to give their thoughts, because like I said, everybody shares the highs of the relationship and the lows throughout this process. Zack wrote out a whole letter that he wanted to read. And when he read this letter, he talks about how he feel like Michaela made him a better man. No, she didn't. Why you sitting up here lying? Because the same way you came in, it's the same way you about to go out, which is full of. Okay. Now he says that he sees today as a new beginning for them. Yeah, that's because Zack think he Burger King and he want to have it his way. That's what that is about. Okay, Zack wants to have things his way. That's why he sees it as a new beginning. And he's playing on Michaela's head top and getting in her mental, right? But we're gonna get on that, right? So Zack tells Michaela that, you've told me you love me, so I just want to let you know that I love you too. And I was like, girl, bye. So it was in this moment she started to tear up because she was so shocked to hear those words, really happy to hear those words after everything that they've been through throughout this process, right? So he also starts to tear up and starts crying. But I feel like Zack was really crying because Zack knew that he was about to break her heart. He knew he was about to hurt her feelings in the end. Okay, so there's that. What else? When it came down to the decision, Michaela says, oh, well, I want to stay married. I want to stay married to Zack. Zack put the biggest grin on his face when she said this. I don't like SHI like that because I feel like you playing in her face. I do not like that. You playing in this girl's face. You smiling, you grinning, you so happy, like, oh my God, she wants to stay married to me. Yay, that's awesome. And then turn around and say, yeah, I want a divorce. In so many words, but I still want to see where this can go. So basically you want a divorce, but you still want to have access to Michaela. That's like a dude wanting to cut off a relationship with a girl, but wanting to still have access to her. That's like being in that's what a whole situationship is. okay, where he not giving you the title that you want or showing you that he's trying to grow in the relationship with you. He just wants to keep you in limbo should the situation he working on don't work out over here on that end. And I just don't feel like you should use people like that. So yeah, no. I feel like for me, Zack is a manipulator. Zack has always been a manipulator. And the reason why he does not like women that get loud with him and yell at him and whatever else they do or act irate is because he really drives them insane and they end up calling him on his BS. And Zack don't be liking to be called on his BS. So he likes to skip out and run. Okay, so then he goes and finds somebody like Bow that's probably gonna be a little bit more submissive, but we gonna get on your ass, Bow, because I don't like Bow. But anyway, Michaela says that she is not interested in pretty much dating Zack. So after everything is over with, Zack walks out. Michaela's still there. She's looking dumb, unfortunately, because of him. She's hugging everybody. Once she goes out to speak for the confessional, she ends up saying that she's not interested pretty much in dating Zack on Zack's terms. But what did we end up seeing at a later time? She does, okay? She does end up doing just that, which is continuing to date Zack and continuing to see where things go, even though she said that's not something that she was interested in. Okay, girl, and we see how that's worked out, right? So then Bow, once they get to the link up where everybody's linking up to catch up to see who chose to stay together versus who didn't. I feel like everybody already knew that. They probably got a group chat, maybe a few of them, maybe the guys got one, maybe the girls got one, but I feel like they already knew who stayed, right? So then, what happened? Bow, if y'all pay attention, because at this point, once the tea has dropped, for me, I'm paying attention to all of Bow's mannerisms. I'm not going to exclude none of that tea that done dropped and just watch the show as it is and judge her. No, I'm looking at everything now because now things start to make a bit more sense for me. And when you look at her, when she first sat down at the table, you see that it's Ryan sitting right next to her. Then next to him is Brett. She's looking past them and she's looking directly at Zack and Michaela. Whatever was going on between Zack and Bow has happened already. It's been happening. It has been happening already. So I'm just like, Bow, you so sneaky. Like she got her eyes stuck over here. And then as soon as Johnny starts asking about Gil and them or asking about Jose and Rachel, I think it was, she turns her head like, oh yeah. Like, yeah, because your eyes are so stuck over here. You ain't even engaging with everybody. Like, girl, what else happened? Gil speaks on their relationship. They chose to stay married or whatever. And he also opened up about how they consummated the marriage finally. So it took him forever to kiss. And after decision day, they finally crossed the line and they've done the do. Okay. And they're also moving into a new apartment, which Myrla is still looking forward to doing. Right. So when it comes time for them to speak on their relationship, meaning Michaela and Zack, honey, when it's time for them to talk about their relationship, she says that, she pretty much opens up about how they're not married anymore. They asked for the divorce, but they're continuing to date each other and see where it goes. Gil is talking to her like the shit not making sense. He like, girl, this not making sense. So Zack, if the shoe was reversed, how would you respond? How would you act? How would you be? Then Michaela jumps in to defend and excuse Zack's BS and says, well, our relationship is our relationship. Okay. And then here go Brett. Brett chimes in too and says, yeah, your relationship is your relationship. Even if we don't understand it, it doesn't make any sense to us, girl. That's your relationship. As long as you're happy, as long as you're smiling. No, do not make her feel like that SHI is okay. At some point, you got to keep it real with her. But I guess, girl, and this is what was killing me. Not so much as Brett speaking up in support of Michaela. It was more so Zack not really having much to say at all. He gave a little piece, didn't say much at all. As soon as it was time for them to talk about their relationship, Zack kind of turned his head and put his head down like this. And I felt like he didn't even want to get eye contact with Bow. That's what I was getting from it. When he put his head down, he was just like, and it's like, wow, you've been up, your head was rose for everybody else's business. Now it's time for y'all business and you want to put your head down. And Michaela, why are you speaking up for this man? And I'm so glad to see at the reunion, she's going to call him out as a person that never cared about her because he never did. He never did, dear. You fell in love with the DIC. Okay. That's what that was. Another thing that I wanted to highlight was production. Whenever Bow is talking or when Zack says something, I noticed that they put the camera first on each other. So when Bow is talking, the camera goes on Zack. When Zack is talking, the camera goes on bow. So because of that, it makes me think, and not just this particular episode, but other times when it's been group activities, makes me think that they've been messing with each other longer than what a lot of us may think. And I feel like production is aware of that. I think they already knew that. I guess the cast didn't know, but I feel like they been knew that. What else did I want to say? Oh, which is going to be funny when we watch next week's episode, because then out of nowhere, Bow is going to say how she and Zack may make a good connect or whatever. And I'm just like, girl, you had been talking to this man anyway, so why would you even say that? I guess you want to try and fix y'all timeline and make it seem like y'all hooked up after the show was over. But at the end of the day, let me tell you what was interesting. The fact that Brett sat up there and said that she felt like all of them are family, and everybody agreed with her that they are a family, which was so funny to me, because then now you turn around and you do this, which is go and date that lady husband or whatever. And even if they were divorced and they was working on things, like you still was like family, and you still went behind her back and went and dated this lady. Girl, I ain't got time. So it's giving Portia Williams for me, soon to be Guavadia. But that's all I got, honey. Just wanted to come and give you guys a really quick review on Married at First Sight. So y'all go ahead, chime down below, leave your thoughts, your comments, and everything down below. I'm Jamie, that's me. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share my videos, follow me on Instagram and Twitter, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.